Well, hello. Oh, shoot. I'm already rusty.
It's been a minute.
What is up, everybody? First of all, I have not made a video in a pretty long time. Well, like a month and a half. No, don't start. No, no. Come here. All right. I had a lot of people asking me like when my next video.
Chloe, stop!
Sorry. I had a lot of people asking me when my next video was gonna come out. Even people that I don't really see that often. Like I ran into a few people at church that I really like, you know, and they're great, but I just don't see them that often, and I didn't know that they even watched or cared about me or my videos, but I really appreciate that. It makes me wanna keep at it. January was a bit of a crazy month for me, hence why you haven't seen me for a little bit. I got a new job, that's exciting, so I'm still working part-time for Luke and Emily editing, which still love. But I got a job actually with Luke's mom at the school that I've been subbing for as the special ed aide. So basically I just like help the special ed teacher. I'll do like observations.
I print stuff.
I don't know, it's a lot of just doing whatever she needs me to do, but a lot of just time with the kids, which is right up my alley. I love the kids. It's the only reason why I would want to do this. So that's been so fun. I love all the staff. I love the kids, obviously. Why am I sitting like that? Oh yeah, something else happened. So I'm just gonna say right now, if you're uncomfortable talking about body parts, specifically boobs, maybe this isn't the video for you. I'm gonna be as like, it's like, how do I say this delicately? I also invested in myself by getting a breast reduction. My alternative way of saying that was, your girl got some new boobies now.
Right on!
So I am gonna talk about like the procedure because I've had a lot of people who have been asking me about it and having all these questions. You know, it's just boobs. Why am I trying to censor so much? I'm obviously gonna be modest when I talk about this, but like, it's just boobs. It's not that deep. I thought it'd be fun to answer those questions and kind of tell you just the whole process and the situation and just all of it going up to it. So we'll start with the obvious question. What size am I now? That's probably the question I get the most, is what size was I and what size am I now? So here's what I was before. Sorry again if you're uncomfortable with boobs. I'm in a bathing suit, so like I'm trying to keep it kind of, I don't know. It's like, it's not, you know. I had different sizes for my chest. My left boob was 34 triple D and my right boob was a 34F. I had some boobs, you know? I don't know. It's just God-given. I didn't choose this life. It chose me. Thanks to my mother, and my great-grandmother apparently had some bosoms as well. It's all natural. I actually, before going into surgery, like my pre-op and everything, I was trying to talk this doctor into basically going the smallest that I could go. I just was like, if I'm gonna pay this much money, I want to go big or go home, but like the opposite way. You know? And to be honest, I didn't know what the sizes really looked like. I couldn't really tell. Like a normal boob size, I thought it was like an A, because I just didn't know. He was like, Nikki,
Bruh.
I know, like that's so dumb. In the nicest way, he was great. Even right before surgery, I was like, okay, I just wanna make it clear, like I don't wanna just go from like a triple D to a D. That's not what I want. I want them to be smaller. I wanna see a significant change. I'm just letting you know, like if you wanna make me an A, like a large A or a B, that'd be great. And he was like, I need you to trust me. I've worked on thousands of these and I want to make it proportional, but I'm also gonna make you feel like they're way smaller. So I just trusted him. He had a great reputation. All of his staff loves him. He made the process so comfortable for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust this guy. He did the procedure. So now I'm kind of somewhere, I haven't gotten fully measured, but I'm somewhere in the vein of like high B to very low C. Very normal size, which I'm so glad he talked me out of being A's because I'm like so happy with what I have now. I can't even imagine being any smaller. That would just be insane. So like, I'm very, very happy that he did that. My second most asked question is, did you go on a shopping spree?
Yeah, we're gonna all get together and we're gonna go shopping!
Have you gotten all new clothes yet? And I keep saying, I basically just have like a full wardrobe in my closet of clothes that I already had that I just never wore because I always felt like it was too, I just felt like I had honkers and it showed. Also, just to be clear, if you have big boobs, I don't think big boobs are like unattractive at all on women. Just for me personally, I've always struggled with being insecure about my boob size, wanted them to be smaller. I just want to feel like it's proportionate to my body and like feel like I can wear a bathing suit without feeling like just a mountain of boobs. I want to feel like I can work out without having to wear 2 sports bras. I don't know, for me personally, I was done with it. So happy that I did that, but there's nothing wrong with having big boobs.
There is nothing wrong with having big boobs.
If you have big boobs, I'm not knocking you. Next question that I've gotten is, where did I find a place to go? It kind of happened randomly. I was originally trying to get the procedure covered by my insurance. Like I was trying to get it done medically instead of cosmetically because it was bringing me like a lot of back pain, a lot of neck pain. It was really starting to hurt. So I started seeing my doctor about it. I went to the chiropractor. Just long story short, my insurance is tough. Unless you have like eyes, basically. Not eyes. Eyes. They're not gonna cover you. I've been wanting to do this for like 2 years now. So basically my primary doctor referred me to this place in Reno. It's called Hall and Rye. So I just did a consultation and I talked to the doctor, went back and forth, basically told him my situation, that I was trying to get it covered by insurance and wasn't really working out. They would send in what they would want to take out. My insurance would just deny it left and right. That went on for like about a year. Just so annoying, so frustrating. Anyway, they kept saying no, and so finally I was like, F it, I'm over it. I'm just gonna do it cosmetically and just pay a lot of money, but can hopefully feel better overall. Leads me into the next question of how much did you pay for your new boobs? So it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. I think though, people think it's more. The procedure was, I think it was like exactly $8,208, something like that. In the 8200s, yes, a lot of money, I understand. I understand it's a lot of money, but I just knew that God was gonna provide. I had full faith that this was what I was supposed to do. I'd been in prayer about it for a long time. Just felt like I'm in a good place money-wise. How do I say this? I got to a place where I had a good mindset about money. A lot more responsible with what I spend my money on, which I know you guys are like, okay, but you bought something that you didn't need to with these new. In one's eyes, that could be the case. I used to spend money like crazy. I would go shopping twice a week. I would eat out every night. And just over the past couple years, I've gotten a lot more conscientious about money, and I've gotten just a lot more responsible. And I don't know, you kind of grow up and you start just get like a better mindset of like what you should be spending your money on. And so I had the thought in my head of like, okay, I'm okay financially to still pay my bills. I'm being responsible with money, and I feel like I can spend this on myself. I feel like I can do something for myself to make myself feel better and make myself feel more confident in the long run. So I just pulled the trigger. I just decided I'm gonna do this. Thankfully, my grandparents helped me with it. Not like they didn't pay for any. Well, okay, they loaned me the money, basically. I put a down payment. I put $2,000 down, and then they paid for the $6,000, and I'm just paying them back over time. They were the ones who really encouraged me, like, we will help you with this. Like, I'm open to talking about this with like how amazing my grandparents are, and some people could be like,
We don't have grandparents who like want to help us.
Listen, I get it. I'm extremely blessed that I have grandparents who are so supportive and want to help me and want me to be happy. My grandma was like all about it. She was like, you can stay with me. We'll help you after the surgery. Because obviously you guys know I have Molly. So my grandma was like, you know, I'll take care of Molly while you're on bed rest. And they were just so supportive. I mean, I could not have done the procedure without them. So I do recognize that like without them, I couldn't have done it. Or, I mean, it just would have taken a lot longer to save up for that, because how the procedure works, it's like you have to pay all the money up front and then they do the procedure. Like there's not payment situation. They have to have the money up front. What was the question? Oh yeah, but 8,000 buckaroonies. Next question I've been asked a lot is what happened? How did they do it? Well, basically I'll just kind of like show you. So they obviously put me on anesthesia. I go in. It's funny because I know it's like a mental picture and I'm sorry, but basically they knock me out with anesthesia. They then make an incision both underneath, one incision going underneath my left breast and then the second. See, I don't like saying breast. To me, that feels more
invasive than just saying boob.
I don't like saying the word breast. They make a second incision underneath my right boob. From the bottom incisions, they go up toward where my nipple originally was. Nipples. They take out the fat on both sides and they like make them even. They level it out. And then they basically reposition my nipple. Sorry.
It's like a weird shape.
What, the incision?
See for yourself.
What the hell?
And then they stitch it like all back up. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's under, up, like those are my scars. Yeah, then they put a wrap around me. So I didn't actually end up even seeing the final product until I think 4 days after I had the surgery because I couldn't shower for a few days. But I woke up from the anesthesia. Apparently like I was out for a while. I think I woke up like an hour after they were done with surgery. I was just waiting there in the recovery room and my grandma was waiting for me in the waiting room and she could come into the recovery room. She couldn't obviously come into the surgery room. And apparently they had gotten done with my surgery in like 45 minutes. I just want to like paint the picture for you guys. It felt like something out of Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, scalpel.
What's weird too, come here, I'm gonna help you.
Come here!
Okay, Molly's gonna join us because she's having a day. Just the whole thing was crazy. My surgeon was Dr. Hall, and when I had met him for my pre-op, when I met him for my consultation, so personable, like extremely sweet, happy to be alive, dad, talks so clearly and so like confidently, but like cracks jokes and like makes you feel like he acts like he's known me for years, even though he's meeting me for the first time right now. Obviously for my pre-op, they had to take before pictures to kind of gauge what it would look like, and I took off my bra and he had to look, you know, he's a doctor. And I was so uncomfortable because like, I don't let people see my boobs. Like not even my girlfriends, not even my sister. Like I don't let anybody see my boobs. I'm just sitting there and I'm so uncomfortable and made me feel as comfortable as it could have been. Very like, it's okay. He said, I need to see him for a second. He looked at them for 5 seconds and then he was like, okay, you can zip up your jacket again. Like you're good. I have what I need to know. And just was really, really nice. Well, when I'm going in for the surgery, he is so serious. I go into this room, there's like 5 doctors. One was like the anesthesiologist. One was obviously Dr. Hall, and he had like 3 assistants or people who were like aiding him in the surgery. And it was like, I go into this room onto a stretcher and it's like, I walk in and they're all like, they have their masks on, they have their full ass scrubs on, they're like pacing and they're getting everything ready. And like the anesthesiologist is like talking to me and he's like, we're gonna give you a big dose. I need you to start counting and like, I'll kind of walk you through it. And I'm like, you know, I'm here and he's like talking to me down here. They're like, okay, we're gonna put you from the stretcher onto this table. So I'm going onto the table and I'm just kind of laying there. Everyone's just all over the place, like doing their business. And I see Dr. Hall, he's like getting his equipment ready. Like he's getting all this prepared. He doesn't say a word to me. He's just like, he's very serious, which to be fair, he had come and seen me before we went into the room. He had come in and said like, you know, are you ready? Are you excited? And you know, he was like making me feel good. And he was like talking me out of the size that I wanted versus what he thought was right for me, which normally I would say like go with what you want for yourself, because like at the end of the day you're paying for it. But he knew that I wasn't really sure what it would look like. He knew that I didn't know what I was talking about. So I'm glad that he used his professional like opinion in the matter. Normally I would say like do what's best for you. But again, yeah, I go in, he's getting himself ready. I didn't even see him come to me on the table before I got knocked out, basically. Long story short,
What's your point, Vanessa?
I just want to go into detail about this because I feel like if it was me, I would have so many questions. I've always wondered how plastic surgery works. Not even just like lip fillers. It's like I am curious about that. Procedures like this, or like women who get like BBLs, a boob job. I've always been curious like how a boob job works, like how do they put the implants in and how that like recovery process works and all this stuff. So I'm open to talking about it. It's obviously something that is huge that happened to me, so I'm happy to talk about it. But so I'm laying, pretend like I'm not diagonal. I'm laying on the table at this point. My anesthesiologist says, okay, what's your name? Like I'm kind of tweaking on how he gave me the anesthesia, because again, I was tweaking. I could not believe what I was getting in. I knew that it was about to happen and I was just like freaking out. I was like, this has been like 2 years in the making. I'm gonna look different after this. I can't even believe it. And I'm just lying there and I'm pretty sure he put an IV in me. I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. I think so. If this is like gonna get someone in trouble, don't quote me on that with the anesthesia.
All the time sitting around, brothers gather around, always looking at me up and down, looking at my I just wanna say it now, I just line up, drum a little mama, I don't want to see mad, I know, gonna and keep on repeating on the walls and eat about try to.
He starts like saying like, hey, what's your name? Like can you just start counting and taking like some big deep breaths, and then I was out like a freaking light, and I woke up finally, and again, I didn't see the full product until days later. But I remember I looked down and I like unzipped I was wearing like a brown Lululemon jacket at the time, and I looked down and I had like the wrap on me, and I immediately started crying because it was such a huge difference. You could already see. And this was like too, like they were still swollen. Like I knew that they were gonna come down a little bit, everything that I wanted and more. I already knew that I loved them. So then comes the recovery process. I don't know if this was just my experience, but mine was so smooth. My experience was not at all what I thought. I thought I was gonna be just totally bedridden for a week straight, or at least like a few days. I was totally fine. I was a little bit sore, but like I was on really good pain meds. I didn't even really stay in my own bed until like, unless it was nighttime. Me and my grandma, mostly me and my grandma, but sometimes my grandpa would be there too. Like we watched movies for like a week straight. I would edit sometimes, or like we would just watch, and it was just, I was fine. Just a very easy process. The week after was a little bit more uncomfortable just because I wasn't on pain meds anymore. Day 4 when I got to take the shower and I undid the thing and I saw I was like in shock. So much in shock. This is actually a funny story and I want to document this so that I don't forget this. Are you done? You over it? My grandma had told me that I might freak out at first just because like with the stitching and it's like there's blood and it's a little bit just like it looks obviously different. So she was like, you might freak out, be aware of that. I take it off and I'm looking and the size is perfect, but I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of starting to get a little bit lightheaded, but I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get in the shower. And luckily my grandparents' shower have like a seat. And so I'm sitting there for a second, I'm like, man, I'm really not feeling so good. I feel like I should just sit on the floor of the shower because I'm really starting to feel lightheaded and I could pass out at any moment. And if I just pop these, I don't know if pop is the right word, fall on them and then the stitches come out, then I'm screwed. I'm glad that I sat down because I ended up actually fainting. That's 100% a true story. I just woke up and I was like laying on the bathroom floor. Are you guys sick of talking about boobs? Is this like too much? So really like the only other information that's like kind of interesting to talk about, a couple of the things that I have to do. You have to wear a bra basically 24/7 for 3 months straight. Unless you're taking a shower. Like I have to always have a bra on even when I'm sleeping. Luckily, my friend AJ, who you guys know, I had told her about the procedure before I did it. And when I had gone to visit her in Seattle for my Seattle vlog, was telling me about like these bras that she's obsessed with and they're super comfy. It's just like a little sports bra. Like, is that okay? They're just like, I don't know, they're just like a comfy little sports bra. And she was like, I literally only wear these, like they're the best bras. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that looks so comfy and it's so cute too. So then when I told her that I was gonna get this procedure, she sent me a couple packages of the bras that she likes. And she is not wrong. This is the most comfy bra I've ever worn in my life. I don't know if it's just because my boobs are way smaller now, but it's like, it's perfect. I don't mind wearing a bra at all. So shout out to you, AJ. I appreciate you, my girl. Oh, another shout out. On day 4, when I was still at my grandparents' house, Megan and Jordan and Katie came over and they brought me, Jordan had asked me like, what are you craving right now? Like what's like something that you really want to have? Because I wasn't eating much. The antibiotics made me feel kind of nauseous. So then I would have nausea medicine that I would take with it too. And I don't know, I just really didn't feel like eating, nor did I have an appetite. She was asking me that and I was like, I could really go for this like smoothie bowl place. It's called Everbowl. It's this acai bowl place in Reno and they have this really good bowl called the Full Moon. It's like it's hard to explain. The base is like a cocoa cream and like a coconut cream custard situation. I don't know how else to explain it, but then like there's like bananas and like these yummy like little chocolate chips on top and strawberry. It's really, really good. A lot of sugar, but it's really, really good in moderation. And they brought me like a whole bag of goodies.
2025 is my year. No more dandruff, no more big boobies.
There was this coloring book that Jordan found on Amazon. It was like a breast reduction coloring book. Let me get it actually, it's really funny. It's the breast reduction surgery coloring book, gone but not forgotten. And there's just like a whole bunch of like little coloring pages. These are so funny. This one says, my spine and I are finally on speaking terms. I mean, come on, it's like hilarious. Finally, I can see my feet again. Straight out of loving my new cupcakes. Oh, breast in peace, that's a good one. Molly, really, honey? Like, that's enough. Really? Mommy's not quite having it with that right now. I can't be replaced, but my big boobs sure can. My boobs are on a diet. Like, are you kidding me? These are so cute. And they brought me like a couple like little bras. They're kind of like scandalous. I'm just gonna put this just for kids. Close your eyes.
She's sexy. Looking cute.
Show those
whatever.
boys, the shows right now.
Maybe one day. So last question I've been asked, how are you feeling? I feel so freaking good. I feel incredible. Honestly, like, not to get deep, but I have not felt this confident in maybe my whole life. I remember feeling good about my body 4 years ago. After a breakup, I couldn't eat. I was throwing up all the time. I was just so anxious. So like I dropped a whole bunch of weight and like I felt better about myself, you know, like I felt confident in my body, but like mentally I was not good. I'm just in a place where I feel good about myself as a person and I feel good about myself now physically. My whole posture, like I know that was a bad example. I was just like that, but like my whole posture of just like when I stand is just way more like naturally propped up. I don't even really have to try anymore. Like just when I stand, I don't know, just feeling like I've never like invested in myself in this way. Something that can make me feel really, really good about myself. I'm like getting emotional talking about it because like genuinely I just, especially the last 2 years, I've just felt so insecure. No, like God made me, like I know I'm not ugly. Like I know that God doesn't want me to be so hard on myself. It's really hard to actually believe that. It's like you can tell yourself that all day, but to actually believe it in your heart is another thing. And I think too, it's like because I feel better about myself, I don't feel like I have to cope in like an unhealthy way, like especially the last few months. And I was joking about it a lot, but like I kind of wasn't good. I was getting afraid that I was about to have a full-blown meltdown in Target, just like any person would. We've all been there, right? I don't know. I don't want to do much. Like I already have to do stuff during my days. I try not to complain as much. Well, okay, I still complain. I just basically like had no energy to be alive. I mean, I don't know, it's probably pretty obvious, but I was overeating like crazy, or I was falling back into like my eating disorders. Excessive eating is like an eating disorder in itself, but like making myself throw up again, or like not eating certain meals because, I don't know, I just felt so bad about myself. It's just nice to feel free from it because I feel better about myself, and just overall as a person, it's making me feel like I don't need to do that stuff anymore. I don't need to like compensate, or I don't need to like fill some hole in my heart that's just sad and depressed anymore. This is something that I'll never regret doing. And I went back and forth for so long of like getting plastic surgery. Like I was always so against it because I just felt like it was so vain. I don't know, I just felt like people would look at me and think, how sad for you that you feel so bad about yourself that like you have to get plastic surgery. And this, you know, just there's a bad stigma. And I do think some people can overuse it, but I genuinely feel like if there's something naturally that makes you feel really insecure about yourself, like holds you back in a way, I don't see why it is a problem to do that. God put that idea in a man's head and it's just evolved into like this huge thing. And if it makes a person feel more confident to like go out and to be the best versions of themselves, then like what's wrong with that? In December, like I barely left the house because I was just this giant ball of just sad and insecurity. Another shout out to Katie, because I don't think that she would mind me saying this. In fact, I'm almost positive that she wouldn't mind me saying this, but she got a nose job. It really helped her confidence a lot. I was like asking her a lot of questions about it one day, and she like kind of helped me skew my opinion on plastic surgery. It made her feel so much better about herself. She was already beautiful before, but she's so beautiful now. Like it's just really changed her whole face. Again, people can overuse it and it can be a problem, but anything can be a problem. Anyway.
Hope I didn't offend anybody by anything that I just said.
But anyway, I'm doing really good, you guys. I'm feeling really, really good. I know that this video is a little bit different than what I normally put out, but I appreciate you guys watching. I hope I answered some questions. If I missed any and you want to know, just text me or leave a comment or whatever you want. I'm open. I'm an open book about this stuff. I'll tell anybody who wants to know. Okay, I love you guys. I promise I'll be better about getting back on track of making videos. I just kind of stopped because of the surgery, and then I got the new job, and then my roommates were always home when I wanted to film, and it's nothing against them. Like they're so sweet. They're so supportive of my videos, but like, I don't know. I just get nervous to film in front of anybody. So I had to wait until they weren't here. But anyway, cheers to new boobs and new life experiences.
You're gonna have fun.